I'm going to be making some wire jumpers here. I got some little alligator clips here. I got some wire. I got my little helping hands to help me solder. You're going to need some strippers here, and you're going to need a soldering iron. This is the flux. This is a paste. I prefer to use a paste. A lot of people don't use any sort of flux or anything when they solder, and I always do. It's so much better to solder with it. Just because it says it has flux core doesn't mean you don't need it. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and start taking this apart here so I can get access to go ahead and solder to it. We got to take our wire here and separate these so we can strip it down and get some wire to it. I'm going to do that on both ends. This wire is a pretty thin wire. It's just a little speaker wire. I'm just going to use my fingernail to strip these instead of using the wire strippers. It's just faster. And then you want to twist these wires up nice and tight so they're nice and small. On the end of each wire, you want to make sure that you try to get these where they don't separate when you're sticking them through the hole. I find it easiest if you just take a little bit of this flux, dip the very tip of it in there. You do not want to go in there deep. You don't want to go very far because you don't want the solder to travel that much farther than what you're doing there, because it's gonna make it hard if you make it too long with the solder. It's not going to bend on the wire. So if the solder comes all the way down, this isn't going to bend easy. You just want the very tip to have solder on it for now. Just like that. It's a little bit. You see this black one here? That one got a little bit too far. Alright, so we're going to take this red side, we're going to put one of these red little boots on there. We're going to stick it up through this hole here. I'm actually going to go down through it. So we want it on the inside like that. Finally get into focus for you guys there. You stick it through that little hole there. You're going to solder it to the hole. Now you want to apply some flux on this right there so that you can get the solder to stick really good. I like to use a little bit of the flux paste here. Get it right by where that hole is, because that's really where you're soldering to. You're soldering directly to this clip.
Some of the bigger ones, they got the extra holes where you can solder the wire to itself after you wrap it through and solder it to the clip too, but this one's a little bit smaller.
This extra wire on the outside, I just want to get rid of that, cut that off. Right here at the end, you got some little tabs that you can bend over. You want to bend those over nice and tight on there. It kind of helps hold the wire a little bit too from moving around when you're in use. Got a nice squeeze on there. Get it back inside of here. Got our red one done. Yeah, let's do this black one here. For this one, I'm going to try soldering it from the opposite side. I think it might work a little better. I wrap the wire all the way around it. And I'm going to solder it to the hole as well as the wire to itself. Get some of that flux on there. Next red one. Don't forget this piece. I have forgotten those a couple times before, and you gotta take it back apart, and it's not cool. Try to do a good job when you pinch these things, you know, get it nice and tight on there. It really does help it last a lot longer when you're using it. Have a nice grip on the end of the wire. It doesn't let it bend so easy and break right there. And we'll get this last black one real quick. Yep. The rubber thing rolled up on me here. That's weird. Okay, well we got it on there. Let's get our battery pack out and a little motor here. Let's just try to test this. Make sure it actually has a good connection. Moment of truth. Like and subscribe.